Neptunes remix. If you're familiar with, it's going back. I hate to go back, but I got to go back just in reference to what's going on today. Star and Buck Wild show would have different clips, from music hits, like "Do It, Bitch," "Love It, Bitch," "Scream It, Bitch." I'm saying "bitch" a lot now, but that was at the beginning of the track. This is not a Neptunes remix. That was like all over the place. It was all over the place. It was crazy. It was just wild at the time because the Neptunes were all over the place, all on the radio. They had Nori, they had the Clips, they had Jay-Z, they had Britney Spears, they had Justin Timberlake, they had Beyonce, they had anybody you can name in the industry basically in the early 2000s. Nelly, they were doing their thing. And so they would have Neptune's remixes to the songs that people had. That was the key to that part of the idea of the Neptunes. Now, the story is that Pharrell Williams is at odds with his one time close associate and I would imagine friend Chad Hugo, otherwise known as Poor Chad, as um, Terrence Pusha T Thornton calls him because he's always in the background. He's always quiet. He doesn't say much. Pharrell's loud and brash and got the chains on and, his flamboyant hairstyle or something like that. Or he's got some funky glasses on or a weird hat, you know. So that played a part in this whole matter. That's what really gave this the boost it really had. That's what they're trying to do. It's Chad Hugo. I was waiting for Chad Hugo to stand up and say it with his chest. I think he's really saying it with his chest with his lawyers. This is his way of, speaking out against Pharrell because like Pharrell's probably been taking a lot off his plate for the past over 25 years now. Almost 30 years probably now because they ghost wrote or they ghost produced the Rump Shaker song from I think that was like 1993, something like that. So that's over 3 decades ago. So this is really like this is what I really like about when hip hop goes to like the nitty gritty, the business side of hip hop. Talking about the residuals, the royalty, the mechanical royalties, the publishing, the masters, all of that. We're having a good time. Hey, having your girl shaking her thing, and you're posted up on the wall, and everybody's having a good time. But behind the scenes, it's business. It's ownership over their name. That's what Chad Hugo's lawyers are trying to ascertain. They're trying to understand. They're trying to see. They're blaming Pharrell, for not going into what is called a general partnership, and that just basically means that two or more people are entering an agreement to share the responsibilities, assets, profits, and financial and legal liabilities of a jointly owned business. So it would have to be both of them. That's a general partnership. It has to be both of them. It can't just be Pharrell. Can't just be Chad. They have to be together. They have to be on this almost like a marriage, like a business marriage. Pause. But that's the way it has to go. That's the way it has to be. It has to be like that for them to prosper because they definitely were eating in the early to mid 2000s. They were getting track after track, and they were excellent. This is my childhood right here. This is my formative years. Listening to music. They were my favorite artists, my favorite producers. I mean, these are weird loose terms because they're making art, but they're not necessarily the artists in the terms of music in the music field. Um, they're producers, but they're also producers in the sense that they make, build, create things. That they were very prolific producers, and then it got goofy, and nobody really was talking about it. But they split kind of like, and they had their own production. Like Pharrell would do his own thing, and then Chad would do his own thing, and they weren't really the Neptunes anymore. It was Pharrell Williams and Chad Hugo. So they split that up, and they had a different way of looking at the entire you know coin, the dollars on the plate, for how to divvy it up. So it became an issue when you looked at how Pharrell was, banking, especially 2013. That was his biggest year, I think. He had the Robin Thicke song, which he lost a lawsuit to, to the Marvin Gaye family. But that was a #1 hit. Blurred Lines. He had Lucky or Get Lucky with Nile Rodgers and Daft Punk, and he had his own single Happy, which went off the charts. It was a major success. And he's kind of cool. He's mainly focused on Louis Vuitton. The residency he has, if that's the proper name for it. You can correct me later. But that is the idea behind it all. That is the true sense of what it is to be in the business of music. Let me remind you, this is the business of music. Everything is cute and fine and ha ha he he and let's have a party, let's have a good time, let's get down and boogie, whatever, get our groove on, drop down and get your eagle on and all that, which was a Neptunes produced song, by the way, with Nelly. But it's all about business. It's all about business. It's a business of music. It's a business of show. That's what we have to remind ourselves. It's all about the business of show. That is the truth. That is the reality of it all. We have to acknowledge that. We have to be real with that, because if you don't have any business, there's no show. Everybody was talking about, the strike, people on strike, during last year. It was like over 100 days or something like that. They're saying, the gatekeepers and the record, I mean, not the record, but the movie producers, and the movie side of entertainment, the executives, all of them, they're just greedy and they just want to take the money. Yeah, that's good. They should be greedy, because it's a lot of goddamn work to be, in the business of show and be maligned by everybody. Everybody hates you. You're executive. You're a suit. You're a business person. But you're in the field of art, so it's weird, because it's like, oh, well, it's got to be creative. Well, they are creative. Executives are the most creative people in the show, in the business of show. They are the most creative, because there's nothing without them. There's nothing. You don't have you don't have a movie. You don't have a TV show. You don't have a record deal. You don't have an album. You don't have anything without business people. Legitimately. That's how you get your checks. That's how you get your deposits. That's how you get your gold and platinum and diamond certifications. Through business people. And people have to realize that. That's the thing with this Chad Hugo. And I thought, I wanted it to be an April Fool's joke, because it was yesterday when the news broke. And I was just like, damn. I was like, God damn, this is crazy. How is this even possible? How does this even function? How does this even work? What is going on with, these Virginia talented young people? And Virginia is known for producers. Knots, Timbaland, Missy, Teddy Riley, even though he was born in New York, but he worked in Virginia. The Neptunes, of course. And I'm forgetting Lex Luger, all from Virginia. Virginia is a haven for, producers. Virginia is for producers. For music producers, record producers in the broader sense is anyone who creates, builds, or makes something, like I said before. But just this Chad Hugo and are you a clone? What's up, Keith? Keith, it's 5:09 where you are, right? Am I wrong or am I right? It's 5:09. I ain't even checked yet. Let me see. Is it 5:09? Yes, that's what I thought. I appreciate you. Are you going to bed or are you just waking up? Are you just waking up to start your day, or are you going to sleep? Because some people work all during the night shift. So I never sleep. I know what you meant though. You said I never sleep. But yeah, so that was the idea behind that. Um so That just astonished me. It was crazy. I got you. I understood what you're saying, but it's a weird space to be in when you have your somebody that's your friend. It's always like this. It's all good just a week ago. Well, this was a decade ago or more. It was all good just a decade ago because the whole crux of it is that they're saying that Pharrell Williams fraudulently went in and said, I'm keeping the Neptunes name for myself. That's the alleged idea. That's the alleged thought behind the whole situation. And so, with that in mind, you have to remember that Pharrell Williams is, he's I don't want to say he's shady, but he it just seems like he's always into something that could get him into trouble or something can get goofy. Not to say that he's a criminal or he's like in Diddy's shoes or something like that. I had to bring up Diddy for one time in a broadcast, but yeah. So that is the whole gist of it. That's the part that really galls me. That really gets at my soul because these are guys that I really looked up to and really, especially Pharrell. Pharrell, they say I look like Pharrell. When I was younger, I used to have the peanut head. We had like similar hairstyle, and I was much thinner in the face. He never changed. I changed. I got fatter. So Pharrell kind of just stayed the same. He just changed up his hair, make it blonde. I don't know. That's a special kind of way. Hey Pharrell, hey girl. But no, but yeah, so it's the business of show. You have to remember that. Shady is a brand. Eminem G checked the reality TV show stars. I think they're the Real Housewives or something. Maybe Atlanta. I can't remember. The Vanderpumps, something crazy. But they tried to use shady something, and he was like, no, 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 no. I got the copyright. I got the copyright. I got the trademark. Trademark is already in there. Can't do it. So this is important stuff. This is what people get their money from, because that's how you get your residuals. If Chad Hugo's name isn't a part of the Neptunes, that means he will not he won't receive those residuals that after all those songs that he made. He says, didn't recently the Saudis boo that nigga off? Exactly, yeah. He was Pharrell was in a place he wasn't supposed to be just recently. I did a story on that. He was in Saudi Arabia. Shouldn't have been in Saudi Arabia in the first place. And they threw glow sticks and uh wristbands at him on the stage, and he was warning them, if you guys keep going like this, I can't be on the stage. And finally they just kept on throwing them at him, and he just finally said, what, I'm done with the show. He might have collected a bag even if he didn't finish the show. I don't know. The story didn't detail that much, but yeah, he shouldn't have been in Saudi Arabia anyway. Those are our tacit enemies. Even though they say, oh, we're allies. No, 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 no. That's not even close. But back to this story. Chad Hugo and Pharrell Williams were buddies. They went to the same high school. They were in the school band. They said, we're going to get together. We're going to make... And I just thought they were phenomenal. I thought, they used samples, but they were they weren't known for their samples. Everybody, like Just Blaze, the track, Heat Makers, Kanye, the artist formerly known as Kanye West, Ye, and so many others are so used to sampling. And they're known for their soul samples, their dusty soul samples, sometimes rock samples, blues samples, soul, gospel samples. But the Neptunes, it sounded like they had their own sound, but that's not true. It sounded like they had their own kind of, way of making music, but it wasn't always the same. It was they used samples from other people. Like that's what happened with the Blow case with Pharrell. And I don't think Chad Hugo had anything to do with that, because I think it was under PW. What is it? I had it. Was it PWIP Holdings LLC? So Pharrell Williams already had the PWIP Holdings LLC, and he had that in his name. And I guess that was to like a signal to show Chad Hugo, like, haha, I mean, You do what you got to do, but I'm gonna do my own thing. Like I think the Pusha T and Tyler the Creator song "Trouble on My Mind," I think that was purely produced by Chad Hugo. I think that was completely Chad Hugo. But Pharrell has ties to Tyler the Creator too. And Tyler the Creator said, in a sense that the Neptunes, steered his life for the better. They made his life more rich. They enriched his life based on their music. And I would say the same thing for me. They enriched my life. They created some of the greatest sounds I've ever heard. I mean, the way they had the sound. I mean, they say Jay-Z says, "Give you bling like the Neptune sound." It goes doo doo doo. That's the Neptune sound, but the real Neptune sound is ding. If you remember from Khaleesi's song "Milkshake," my milkshake brings on all that. That little ting. That's a Neptune sound. That's the bling sound. That's the bling sound. I just had to correct that. I'm on my soapbox now because I always wanted to say that in a public sphere. This is my public sphere. That little ting. That's the bling. That's the bling. That's the Neptune sound. But yeah. So that's another artist, Khalees. I mean, there's so many people that they had tracks for. They had to have made at least $100 million a piece. At least they had to. I don't know what their net worth is right now. I don't know if Chad Hugo's net worth is less than Pharrell's. It probably is. Poor Chad. That's what Pusha T always called him, poor Chad. Keith says, I like the Black Eyed Peas better. Then he says, cause I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. That was a hit song. That was played like every day in my house back in 2013, 2014, something like that. Over a decade ago. It's crazy how time just tick-tock. But TikTok for Pharrell Williams, and it's a weird kind of thing because there's contention. Chad Hugo's lawyers are saying that they've reached out to him. Pharrell Williams' lawyers are saying they're like flabbergasted. They're like, what is this? We don't have anything to do with this. We're not, and that's bullshit probably. I'm just saying it's alleged bullshit. They know what's going on. Pharrell knows what he's doing. He's the evil genius. he's the great mind behind all of this. That's what makes it, possible. So that probably is the best way to describe it. Even look at Diddy. Diddy had songs with the D, the I, the D, the D, the Y, the D, the I, the D is Diddy. Hold up. Anybody remember that song? Exactly. So that's how far-reaching the Neptunes were. I mean, you'll see Chad Hugo in the background in the video with the beat machine, with the drum machine, programming it, like acting like he's programming it. But that's about it, You don't really hear too much from Chad Hugo, but Pharrell Williams, he was everywhere, especially over a decade ago with that Happy. That Happy song was like blew up. Just I think it hit number one a few weeks. I can't remember how many weeks it was. 16 people in here. 60 people. Okay, hit the like button and tell another 16 people about this show. If you are under the sound of my voice, hit the like button and tell 16 people. Don't tell 17 people. Let the 17th person wonder, who's that goofy nigga with the hat and the gold tie and the black shirt? What's up with that goofy nigga? What's he talking about? Let them wonder. Let them see, find out what's going on. All right, so Chad Hugo, I'm saying he's standing 10 toes down. He's not like, oh, it's all right. Let Pharrell have it. It's okay. Let him. No, he's like, no. Let me sick my lawyers on you, because you're not going to take the work, the sweat of my brow, the work from my hands. All right. Talk to him entertainment, my boy. What's good? What's goody good? What's really hood? What's really hooded? I was just listening to the Neptunes sounds on Apple Music, and they had Noriega on there. He was like, what's really good hood? And is that what I should hood? He was playing with the language a little bit. But that's another thing. They went so far. They went from grinding to like justified. Like, how do you have that range. That range was amazing. Not too many people can do that. Timbaland, maybe he was probably like one of the other people. Dr. Dre, he's another producer that can do it. But a duo, a team, Teddy Riley and Jimmy Jam. Isn't that right? Teddy Riley and Jimmy Jam. Terry Lewis, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Excuse me, not Teddy Riley. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. That was another production team that could have range. You know. Let me see. Whoever came up with the frontin' brigade bridge loop deserves all rights. Ooh. Chad been radio silent for years. Exactly. LaFace Records. Exactly. Yes. Facts on facts on facts. Yeah, that loop, and then the bridge. Doon 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 doon. That's another song. That's another song. Who can name that song? Cause I'm grasping at straws right now. But that bridge on the front. Dun, 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 dun. I better not say too much, because I know Pharrell and Chad are looking at looking at the YouTube videos, see if somebody's using their mouth for the instrumental. But there was a bridge. Doom 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 doom. That's the Michael Jackson. That's it. It was Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. It was I think Butterflies. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that bridge on front is from Michael Jackson's Butterflies. Tell me I'm wrong. Doom 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 doom. But Chad, he's standing 10 toes down. He's standing on business. Talk about standing on business. He's the one telling them, yo, you know what? Get my lawyers. Get my lawyers. This guy lost his mind. He's trying to claim all that. No, I put in work. He's a saxophonist. He's not just a drum beat machine guy. He's a saxophonist. He's a drummer. He's a multi instrumentalist, just like Pharrell. He deserves to get his cut of the pie too, because they came up with the recipe. They baked their own pie. They came up with a recipe, drew it all down, and went on with it, and kept it moving. Business is show, ladies and gentlemen. This is the business show. And I finally get to talk about business. We've been talking about Diddy and, all his mess and his ill business. We've been talking about, Sexy Red and Drake and everything. All bullshit. All that bullshit. And they know that it's business show, because they have trademarks. Drake, I know he has trademarks on OVO. He has trademarks on that Owl. He has trademarks on all that stuff. Yeah, I think Chad came up with the bridge too. I think he used it. Michael, I can't play it now because it'll mess up the stream, but I'll play it later and make sure it sounds. I think it's the same thing. I think it's Butterfly. I could be wrong, but it's a Michael Jackson song. I know that for sure. It's one of his songs. But yeah, Chad Hugo deserves his cake, his money, and Pharrell, he's not. Don't call him greedy. Call him irrational. Greedy people are good. Good is greed. Okay? That's like you have $1 billion. Okay, you want $10 billion. Okay, you have $100 billion. Okay, you want $200 billion. Oh, you have $200 billion. You want $500 billion. Okay, you want $1 trillion. That's greed. Greed is good. That's the best thing that's going. That promotes. That builds up in people's lives. That builds up the productivity, the productiveness of our lives. Being greedy, not gluttonous. Gluttonous is consumption. Gluttonous is overeating, overdoing, over taking things that aren't yours. Is desire for the unearned. I mean, Ayn Rand said that greed was the desire for the unearned, but I think she corrected herself, because she had in the book Atlas Shrugged, the utopia of greed. That might be a spoiler for some of you, but look that up. Read the book and you'll see. Oh, okay, that's what that nigga was talking about. So, yeah, Chad Hugo's going 10 toes down, standing on business. saying my lawyers against your lawyers. They could have another, social network, movie on the Neptunes. Aaron Sorkin can script another story about, business, friends being torn apart because of business interests, or not really business interests, because of the lack of understanding of business, or the lack or the intentions of doing the wrong thing. Evil is good. No, greed is good. Greed is good. Evil is anti-life. Anything that's anti-life is evil. But greed is pro-life. Greed is definitely pro-life. That's why you have billionaires. If they earned it and they deserve it. You have everybody. They call them robber barons, but it was Rockefeller, Carnegie, Vanderbilt, and so many others. Well, not so many. A few others. They in DuPont in my state, Delaware. Look it up. People came in and were like, let's get this money. Like, for real, let's get this cake. Let's get this money. But they said Hugo's team repeatedly contacted Pharrell's squad about, all of this. The real Rock. Okay. I had to throw it up one time. It's The Rock. Greed is the American. Yes. Keith said it. Greed is the American dream. I was just listening to The Take earlier this morning. Or no, A1. Is it A1? 1A. Excuse me. 1A. 1A is an NPR station, and it was talking about how happiness has declined in America. How less people feel happy about their station. And it's not because of anything. I just kept on hearing the worst ideas. People were saying, well, a little bit of money in a day that's sunny, and money in my pocket, and a dog, and all these are great. Those are values. Those are great things. But it's the achievement of the values. That's what makes you happy. Achieving those values. That's what is important. To create the wealth, to create the ability to have pets and stuff like that, to bring you joy. I don't really get down with pets like that. I'm not a cat, dog, gerbil, hamster, pet fish. I'm not on that level. But I think that other people can be. I'm in support of everybody. If you're a doggy daddy, if you're a doggy mommy, if you're a cat mommy, cat daddy. I had to do that one time. But yeah, that's your business. That's all your business. But I was just thinking about the song "Happy." I thought they were talking about happiness around the world. Who is and William and Korean TV need to be in here, because what's the number? I think the number two. I think number one is Norway, but number two is Denmark. Denmark is the happiest place on the planet, according to this research. All right, let me read these. That song was from the Jacksons. This hotel. Are you talking about from the frontin'? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Dollar Bill? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Give me a little bit more clarity. What song was it? This hotel. I have to look that up. This place hotel? Is that what you're talking about? For fronting? Okay. This place hotel. Okay, I'll have to look at it after the stream, because I'm not trying to get any kind of copyright infractions or restrictions. But yeah. So I'm gonna tell you about my day. I'm gonna tell you about what happened. The big kerfuffle with myself, my own bipolar head. That's why many Americans are not happy these days. No more middle class. Well, the middle class is. I don't know if I don't have the data. I'm not going to talk and say it's shrinking or it's expanding. I don't have the data, so I would have to do a broadcast on that one day. 7 people, 7 likes. I like that. That's a good sign. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. But yeah. So just to segue into it, Happy. Pharrell's song "Happy" was one of the biggest songs of the decade, the 2010s to 2019. And I was not happy this morning. My dad gave me a blender, right? Brand new blender, just out the box from Amazon. Beautiful, great, simple to use. Supposedly, not for my dumb ass. I put in the fruit. I put in the ice, and put in the acai juice, and then I put on the cap. I didn't read all the instructions, and I just had the inclination that there was going to be an ability to, after I was done, I hit the button and it mixed it all up, made it into a nice smoothie. Then I was like, let me just take it from the base, and I opened, and the whole thing just splashed out. My dumb ass. I was like, oh god, I'm just having a Tuesday because my dad and I weren't seeing eye to eye on. He has his zen. I have to give him his space. I respect that. I can understand what he's talking about when people are messing up your flow, because he was kind of messing up my flow. Because I was like just about to put water in the mixture, and he was like, "You're using water?" I was like, "Can't use water. Got to use some kind of juice." But then it was like I don't use blessing in disguise mystically. I just use it as just a rational happening that took place. I was able to make the juice over again and let it be better. I did the right thing this time. So I put it in it was cantaloupe pieces and some water, some ice. Flipped it upside down like you're supposed to. It is the goofiest thing I ever heard. That's why I thought it was at the base. And I was like, and then you flip it over upside down. I know, right, Keith? I know. I'm stupid like that. I'm telling you. My bipolar is itching. It's acting up. But so you flip it over upside down, then you take off the cap, then you drink it. It's goofy as hell. But that's the way you do it. That's the way you're supposed to do it. So, but it tasted good. I wasn't mad. It was very frothy and it was kind of sweet. It wasn't overbearing. I could taste the cantaloupe. I was like, all right, finally, this is a good thing. This is a great thing that happened in my life. Finally, like this day was not going so well, and I finally turned around. And right now, I feel a hell of a lot better because I'm complaining it to complete strangers who are going to be making me money. The business is show. I'm telling you guys all my foibles and my incorrect, stance and my problems. I'm letting you all know, the issues that going on in my bipolar life. I'm telling you all the truth. I'll give you the war stories, the guts and glory, and the warts and all. I'll tell you everything. I'll tell you the whole thing. But the story that I was just talking about with the Neptunes, that I was like, damn, that hit me hard. It hit me because I'm like, this is my youth. They had Bow. Remember this little Bow Wow? You just don't know. I all across the phone. And I run through my mind like all the time. There's a point that I just gotta take you home. Like they had there was very few people in the industry. Very few. I think there's like 2 or 3 people I can name, and they already had an in-house producer, so they didn't worry about it. But I don't think 50 Cent or Eminem has one Neptunes track. I don't think either one of them have a Neptunes track. And there's more people, but I'm just pointing out them. But their friend, Snoop Dogg, he's got like 4 or 5 at least. Maybe even more, maybe 10. He's got Vado. He's got Beautiful. He's got the song with Mariah Carey. I can't think of the title, but bam 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 I can't remember the title of it. Say Something. That's it. Say Something. And this he's probably got more, but he definitely this is my favorite track from Snoop Dogg and Neptunes. From the church to the palace. That focus. Salute to you, sir. And he just reminded me he's got a blue wrench. If you want to have a blue wrench too, I'm doing low specials. I might chop it down. I might because I did something different for he's not on here. He's usually on here around 4 o'clock. But Rick James. But I salute you, sir. Hit that fucking like button. Yeah, hit that like button. I'm trying not to cuss, but hit that like button. We got 10 people in here right now. We got 7 likes. Make sure you hit that like button. Because it helps out the algorithm, helps out finding my show. I appreciate it. Drop it like it's hot. Thank you. Duh. That was like the biggest song ever, in 2003, 2004. I mean, god damn, how could I forget that? Drop it like so. Vado, Say Something, Beautiful. Drop it like it's hot, and my favorite. He's got more, but I'm just saying this is my favorite Neptunes. From the church to the palace. I love that track. That's my dun 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 dun. That's the cut right there. That's my jam. I love that song. But Drop It Like It's Hot. I think that was like on the top of the billboards or close to it. It was the top 10. I can look it up right now. That's the power of the internet, children. Isn't that special? Let me see. I'm looking up right now. From RNG Rhythm and Gangster, the masterpiece. Chad Hugo was in the video. Don't get it confused. He was in the video too. With Pharrell and Pusha T and his brother Mil Malice. They were in the video. See, that's like that good old times vibe. I'm looking for it right now. It topped the Billboard Hot 100 for 3 weeks from December 10th, 2004. Wow. It debuted on October 2nd, 2004. That is amazing. And it's been certified double platinum by the RIAA, the Recording Industry Association of America. See, it's an industry. We always say that it's an industry. It's an industry. Oh, he's in the industry. He's an industry thug. He's a studio gangster. But that's what they are. That's what everybody is. Everybody's claiming they clapping guns and clapping cheeks and paws, but like everybody's saying they super thugged out. It's wild. But my day picked up. I like today. I like days like this. I just stay in the house. It's rainy as hell on the northeast coast, northeast Atlantic where Delaware is. It's been rainy as all hell. It's been raining cats and dogs, to say a cliche. That's the key piece to all this. That's what I think is so important. A crucial point of my day, being able to convey this story to you. And I'm going to get paid because I'm going to get views. I'm going to get likes. I'm going to get more subscribers. Subscribe. And also, I have $7.35 minimum and a $10 maximum. I hope I don't scare anybody away. But I have a $7.35 minimum and a $10 maximum. If you can just drop at least $7.35 anywhere to $10, I'll be very appreciative. If you don't drop it, that's cool too. Don't worry about it. But it would just help out my bipolar issues. If you'll be financing my bipolar, assistance for that. um, but yeah, today was a seesaw day. It was up and down, up and down. I woke up, got pretty much got yelled at. I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're invading my space," and I respect it because I have to give him a space at least, and sometime in the morning, because I know I can be overbearing. So, and then the whole blender mix up. I was just like, oh god, it just created a big mess. Went everywhere. I was like, God damn it. It was just goofy. It was goofy. But I pulled through. I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm still strong. What movie is that from? If you remember. But yeah, so I'm still thinking about this Neptunes thing. This Neptunes thing is gonna bother me for the next few hours probably until I, sleep on it again. Cause I had to sleep on it. I had to do the work. I had to look at videos. They went to the same high school. I looked at. I had it on my Yeah, they won a talent show. Chad Hugo and Pharrell. And they're old. They're 50. He's 50 years old, and Pharrell is 50 years old too. They're both 50. So they're technically old heads. They're dusty. But it's all about the bottom line. That's my whole point. This whole if you don't get anything from this entire missive, it's about the dollar. It's all about the change, the Skrilla, the ducats, the coins. It's all about the money. The moolah. It's all about the money. Don't get it confused, kids. You can have dreams and say, "Oh, I want to be this, I want to be that, and I want to be." Everything has to have a price, and everything's gonna have something related to the dollar sign, and that's what has to be. That's what's very not taught in school. Sadly, I went to a financial what was not financial services, but it was a financial education class. It was so it was a joke beyond a joke. It wasn't even like a real class. I stayed on the computer most of the time. We watched movies. We filled out bullshit, busy work, paperwork. Nothing on real, ideas of how to, do stocks and bonds and trading and ETFs and things of that nature. Nothing on that. Nothing on how to, create wealth or anything like that. Just watch movies. I went on the computer. That's it. That was a basic idea of it. So, you want to seek out. That's the thing. I heard this on Mr. Troy Star Terrain show. It's nobody's business to teach you the business at all. It's nobody's business to teach you the business. Now, you can glean from people. You can get information from other people. That's fine. That's okay. But the whole idea is to be completely autonomous in the way that you conduct yourself and the way that you find out about business. And that may include, putting somebody else in the driver's seat and you being the passenger, and you just learn, to drive based on them. And then when you get behind the wheel, you know how to maneuver and go around the different curves of the industry or the industries. That because they have money, they have paper to spend. They have good. Their money's long. Pharrell's money is long. Chad Hugo's money, I think, is long. I mean, I can look up and see the bullshit. Chad Hugo net worth. They're valuing Chad Hugo's net worth at 60 million on Hot New Hip Hop. I'm looking up right now. All right, they're not giving me too much to go on. He's worth $250 million according to CelebrityNetWorth.com. Now that's a bit of a disparity. Now I know if you say, "Oh, 60 million, 60 million," it's not really about the figures. It's about the whether you earned it and you deserve it. That's what it's all about. That's what it's about. That's the key, and that's the idea behind it. That's what the truth is. That's what the reality of it all is. So if you ever want to know whatever it costs, just get your lawyers. Lawyer up, lawyer up, asshole. Lawyer up. Get your lawyers together. Because, that's what, Chad Hugo's like scratching his head like, Pharrell's got 250 million. He's got $250 million. And I got 60 million? Like 60 million is good. Not 60 million is 60 million, but just that disparity, that's almost $200 million, more than what Chad Hugo has. So it's like, I know his head was scratching like, what? Oh no, I'm calling up my lawyers. Get me on the phone with these niggas. Let me talk to them. Let me explain something to them, this nigga. And it really is sad. It really is sad. Because they were friends. That's this, like I said, it's a social network. Eduardo Saverin and Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg is good. He's got like $95 billion or something like that. Something crazy. Eduardo Saverin was smart. He took his, $3 billion? And look at that. What's $3 billion and $95 billion? I mean, once you cross that billion line, you're pretty much, you're good. You're not going to have to worry. Unless you're Diddy. I think he crossed the billion line and they're like, "Oh, you're making too much money, nigga. Slow down. We have to slow you down." But that's the case. That's the reality of it all. He took his money. He went to South America, I think, Eduardo Saverin. Because of the taxes. He escaped the taxes. Very smart man. But this is his defense. Saverin denies that he left the U.S. to avoid paying taxes and stresses that he paid all applicable taxes at the time, including an exit tax. He points out that he moved to low-tax Singapore, that's where it was, not South America, in 2009 and filed to give up his U.S. citizenship in January of 2011, which became official last September. Yeah, so you don't have to be a quote-unquote American to live in America. You can have the American mindset. I'm sure he still has an American mindset in Singapore. And Singapore, in a lot of ways, is a lot better, business place. It's a lot more of a business friendly place than the United States. Even though it's ironic, the United States should be freer, should be happier, should have more of a better business climate than any place on the face of the earth. But you got places like Singapore, the Philippines. It used to be Hong Kong. Hong Kong was a bastion of rights and understanding, but that went away in 2019. And once that pandemic hit, it got even worse. And I don't think it's recovered since. But that's the problem. That's the problem. So I think that we have a misunderstanding of what it means to be on what it means to be in the United States of America, to be on this rock. And the Plymouth Rock didn't land. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Who said that? But that's the best part about what I'm getting at right now is that this is this is the issue that I have to contend with. This is the issue that I have to work around. Is the fact that business is the central part of every part of living. You can't look around your house. You can't look around anywhere. You can't go out in the street. You can't look at cars. You can't look at skyscrapers. You can't and not think about business. Everything is connected to a corporation, a company, something. Even something, a ceramic made at a fair, or a crochet blanket or something like that. It's exchanging money for a value, a piece of cloth or something like that. That's business. And it just becomes big business when you're talking about things like Apple and Exxon and Walmart, things like that, multi-hundred-billion-dollar companies, trillion-dollar companies, I should say, really. They're trillion-dollar companies. So this Chad Hugo Pharrell Williams thing, it just bites me in the ass, really, because it's just really sad that it has to come to this, but it has to come to this. Let it come to this. Chad Hugo standing 10 toes down, standing on business, saying no, Pharrell, you going too far. You going too far. He had that speed bump with Robin Thicke. Now you're gonna get, you might get a brick wall, because you're not gonna claim the Neptunes name as your own. We came into this together. We're gonna leave out here together. We built this, ground up, just the two of us, brick by brick, block by block. We had this together. We definitely put this on. We put this on ourselves, the two of us. We were a duo. We split. We did our own things. I produced my own stuff. You produced your own stuff. And it still kind of comes out to yeah, get him, Chad. Exactly, Keith. Get him, Chad. That might be my motto. Get him, Chad. Because he's been quiet. That nigga's quiet. That nigga's quiet as hell. He don't say nothing. He don't say a damn thing. He don't say a goddamn thing. Then finally said, you know what, lawyers, you know what? I'm still gonna be quiet, but y'all talk for me. And then they did. We've reached out to Pharrell multiple times, and like it's business, kids. It's all business. If you take anything away from this whole story, this whole broadcast, know that it's all about business. It's never going to change. It's all about business. It's all about making money. Not necessarily capitalism, but business. Business is a facet of capitalism. Capitalism is basically the government protecting you with property rights. This is an issue of property rights and your individual rights to go out, into political freedom, with political freedom. That's the case. That's the reasoning why. So it's very important to notice that, to realize that, to let that be known. So if you had any question as to whether, does there anything everything has to do with commerce? Yes. Think about the last holiday we had, Easter. It was pagan. It was German. They mixed it up with the Christian, and people just have a compartmentalization. That was a big ass word, but they put it in different places. Well, I'm a Christian, but I'm really going to talk about the fact that I had an Easter egg hunt, and I'm really going to talk about how we had an idea of, Christ dying on a post, and experiencing one of the worst, most vicious, terrible, horrific deaths ever known to man. But he rose on on Sunday, so that was all good. So now we can do an Easter egg hunt. Like, same thing with Christmas. And this is a weird thing too. I said this before. In the calendar year, Easter comes before Christmas, but Christmas is the beginning. So But Christmas really happened on sometime in the spring. He was born sometime in the spring. So it's all mixed up. It's all mess. But it's been commercialized. You buy gifts, you put up lights, you get a Christmas tree, which is German. German and pagan ideals all come in together like that. St. Patty's Day, exactly. You wear green, you say, I'm not Irish, but today I am, and you drink beer and stuff like that. And Cinco de Mayo, hell knows what Cinco de Mayo is. The Mexicans fought a war and they won or something like that. I don't know. I still can't remember. But I'm going to get drunk that day. I'm not, because I don't drink, but I'm saying, but people, have that excuse to get drunk. Halloween. Halloween has roots in, faith. People say, they're in faith, don't think it's about faith, but it is. It's scaring the ghouls away, the ghouls that you believe in. If you believe in the Holy Spirit, there must be an unholy spirit. So you're chasing the unholy spirits away. But it's been commercialized because it's about getting candy. And I can go on and on and on and on. It's all been commercialized. And that's beautiful. It's all about business. It's all about business. It's all about making the dollars. It's all about getting that cash. That's what it's all about. That. So that was goofy. I was totally frozen for a good almost 2 minutes, or maybe more. But anyway, still rolling. Still talking about my bipolar. Still talking about the fact that my dumbass messed up the whole milkshake. But it was like not a blessing in disguise, but like it just turned out in good fortune. That I just ate the cantaloupe and the water and the ice, which was really nice. It was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. So, see, one person in here with 7 likes. It's not bad. It got up to about 14. So I should have at least 140, 103. I don't know. I'm not going to say how many, but I should have a few. I should have a good number, a good showing of how many people are on here. But that was, one of the wildest things I've seen on the internet when I saw that. Chad Hugo, poor Chad, because he never says anything. Nobody ever asks him anything. It's all about Pharrell. It's all about the other artists. For Chad's in the background with the saxophone or the drum machine. He's just looking around. He'll look into the camera, but he's not going to get the interview. I'm sure he's been interviewed multiple times over the years, but not to the extent of Pharrell. Pharrell has a different beast altogether. He's got the whole Louis Vuitton designer, credit to him. That I think he's filled the shoes of the late great Virgil Abloh. I think he filled those shoes, even though he can't. He may not be able to fit them. I'm saying, yeah, he's in his role. But yeah, I think they can. If they can't get it together, they can't get it together. I'm aware of that. I'm a child of divorce. I'm so used to having love both parents and they not seeing eye to eye, and I don't even understand how they even got together. But okay, but so be it. Let it be. A total disruption of their friendship. Let that be. Let that be truth. If that's reality, let it be. Hey, and I would like to thank everybody that came through. Let me try to see if I can say everybody. Keith, Take Home Entertainment, Talk to Him Entertainment, excuse me. What is that? Nate from Brooklyn. Dollar Bill. Dot Focus. Thank you all. I appreciate you. You contributed to my life. I'm able to talk about my dumbass and stories of the day that are near and dear to me. So I appreciate you, and I hope you have a great one. Take care.